दोस्तों, आज के इस वीडियो में हम क्लास 9th की मैथमेटिक्स में क्वाड्रिलेटरल्स चैप्टर पर चर्चा करने वाले हैं। तो क्वाड्रिलेटरल्स चैप्टर में आज का हमारा टॉपिक है मिड पॉइंट थ्योरम। तो आज के इस वीडियो में हम मिड पॉइंट थ्योरम से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस और मिड पॉइंट थ्योरम का प्रूफ देखेंगे। तो आइए हमारे इस वीडियो का आनंद उठाइए और अपने ज्ञान को बढ़ाइए। तो मिड पॉइंट थ्योरम, व्हाट इज द मिड पॉइंट थ्योरम? द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ मिड पॉइंट थ्योरम इज टू प्रूव दैट the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it। मतलब एक ट्राइंगल आपको दिया हुआ है और उस ट्राइंगल में किसी भी दो साइड के मिड पॉइंट को ज्वाइन करने से जो लाइन सेगमेंट मिलेगा वो लाइन सेगमेंट आपके थर्ड साइड के पैरेलल होगा और थर्ड साइड का हाफ भी होगा। ये हमें प्रूव करना है। तो चलिए लेट अस एंजॉय द प्रूफ। सो नाउ हियर गिवन दैट ए ट्राइंगल ABC and D and E are the midpoints of sides AB and AC. You can see in this diagram. Triangle ABC is already given, ABC, and D is the midpoint of AB, E is the midpoint of AC. Then to prove that DE equal to half of BC means this line segment DE just half of BC, and also DE parallel to BC मीन्स ये दोनों लाइन पैरेलल है और ये प्रूव करना है कि DE जो लाइन सेगमेंट है वो BC का हाफ है। तो इसको प्रूव करने के लिए थोड़ा सा कंस्ट्रक्शन चाहिए। सो रिक्वायर्ड कंस्ट्रक्शन इज ड्रॉ CF पैरेलल टू AB। ये CF AB के पैरेलल ड्रॉ करना है एंड एक्सटेंड DE अप टू F, और DE को बढ़ाया है और ये पॉइंट F तक बढ़ाया हुआ है। ठीक है, तो सो हियर फॉर प्रूफ, सिंस D and E are midpoints of side AB and AC, you can see here D is the midpoint of AB and E is the midpoint of AC, and CF parallel to BA otherwise AB. तो CF parallel to AB according to the construction. Now we take two triangles, that is a triangle AED and triangle CEF. Okay, so first of all we will prove here these two triangles are congruent. So what to write after that? AE equal to CE. Why? This AE equal to CE because E is the midpoint of AC. अगर ये मिड पॉइंट है तो ये इक्वल होगा, तो हम लिखेंगे AE इक्वल टू CE। दिस इज गिवन ऑलरेडी। आफ्टर दैट एंगल AED मींस दिस एंगल जस्ट इक्वल टू एंगल CEF। Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles. Okay, now then you can write here angle DAE just equal to FCE, angle DAE and equal to FCE. This is FCE means these two angles are equal. Why? Because this is parallel, AB is parallel to CF, so this is the transversal line, AC is the transversal line, and if AC is the transversal line, therefore this is alternate interior angle. Okay, BACF you can see here. So these two angles are alternate interior angle, so these are equal. After that you can observe here two angles and one side is equal, So you can say that by A as a criterion, triangle AED congruent to triangle CEF. Okay, so you can see here, this is the side, this angle is the vertically opposite angle, and this is also angle is given, and this is included side. This angle is given, and angle A is given, and angle E is given, and middle side, that is included side, is given. So angle side angle criterion, you can say that these two triangles are congruent. If these two triangles are congruent, then by CPCT you can say that AD equal to CF and DE equal to EF, because all corresponding parts are equal. So AD equal to CF means AD this one, and just equal to CF, this is this side. Okay, after that DE equal to EF, DE means this line segment, and just equal to EF. Okay, because these two triangles are congruent, so all corresponding parts are equal. Since dear AD equal to CF and DE equal to EF, you have proved already, and AD equal to BD, since D is the midpoint, D अगर इसका midpoint है तो AD equal to BD, तो यहाँ से आप एक conclusion निकालेंगे. आप देखिए AD equal to CF and AD equal to BD. So what you get? That is BD equal to CF. Okay. So this is the conclusion for these two statements, that is BD equal to CF. Now BD equal to CF and BD parallel to CF, this is given. Okay, according to the construction, BD equal to CF and BD equal to parallel to CF. Then you see here in this diagram, BD equal to CF and BD parallel to CF. So quadrilateral BCFD. What is, since opposite sides are equal and parallel, so what do you say? आप क्या कहोगे? अगर BCFD क्वाड्रिलेटरल कोई है और इसमें अपोजिट साइड इक्वल भी आ रहा है, आपने प्रूव किया, और पैरेलल भी आ रहा है, तो आप क्या प्रूव करेंगे? Then this BCFD is a parallelogram. So dear, if BCFD is a parallelogram, then you know that the properties of parallelograms means opposite sides are equal and parallel. So you can say that DF equal to BC, this is the one opposite sides, and DF parallel to BC also. DF equal to BC and DF parallel to BC. After that, opposite sides are equal and parallel, then you can say that multiplying by half in both sides, that is half of DF equal to half of BC, and DF also written as DE because DE is the part of DF. So this is D parallel to BC, and half of DF equal to half of BC means here we will multiply it by 1/2 in both sides. So half of DF, it is written as DE because E is the midpoint. So DE equal to half of BC, and this is same to same DE parallel to BC. Hence the lines segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. This theorem is known as midpoint theorem. So this is the proof of this theorem. I want to tell you once again according to the diagram. So you have to prove here BCFD is a parallelogram. Okay. So opposite sides are equal, that is BC just equal to DF, means DF equal to BC. So we will write here DF equal to BC, and also DF parallel to BC because opposite sides are equal and parallel. Now you will multiply by half in both sides, and DF this is the part of DE is the part of DF. So you can say that DE is also parallel to BC. Okay. If DF parallel to BC, then you can say that DE is also parallel to BC. Okay. After that, half of DF, DF का आधा कितना हो जाएगा, बिकॉज E इज द मिड पॉइंट, सो यू कैन राइट दैट हाफ ऑफ DF इक्वल टू DE. So DE equal to half of BC. So this is the our requirement. First and second part means we want to prove that DE parallel to BC and DE equal to half of BC. So this is the theorem. Now moving for exercise 8.2. So here the first question. How can you apply the midpoint theorem in the question? ABCD is a quadrilateral in which P, Q, R and S are midpoints of the sides AB, BC, CD and DA. It means P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of BC and R is the midpoint of CD and S is the midpoint of DA. AC is a diagonal, it is given. If ABCD is a quadrilateral, then it has two diagonals, but one diagonal is given here. AC is a diagonal. To show that there are three parts. One part is SR parallel to AC and also SR equal to half of AC, and second part is PQ equal to SR, and third part is PQRS is a parallelogram. So this is the question. Now we will apply here midpoint theorem. So let us enjoy the solution of this question. After that, on joining these points, we will get another quadrilateral. So question says that prove that PQRS, this PQRS is a parallelogram, and AC is already given here diagonal. So we will draw diagonal of this quadrilateral. This is diagonal of quadrilateral ABCD. Now we will prove that this PQRS is a parallelogram. So how to prove it? So first of all, we will write the given information. After that, we will start the proof. So given here in this question that first one is thinks that ABCD is a quadrilateral. So we will write here ABCD is a quadrilateral. After that, this is also given that PQRS are the midpoint of side AB and AC. AB, BC, CD and DA also. It is given that P, Q, R and S are the midpoints of side. First one is AB, BC and CD. After that DA respectively. Okay, then prove that. To prove here, there are three things, that is ASR parallel to AC, and SR equal to half of AC. This is the first part, and second part is PQ equal to SR, and third one is given here PQRS is a parallelogram. So these three things is required to prove it. So we will start the proof. For proving these things, we will write the given information. After that, we will prove it. Since here, now start the solution. Since P, Q, R, S, these are the midpoints. So we will take first of all in triangle ABC. So since requirement is that SR, this is SR, just half of AC and parallel to AC. So we will take the triangle ADC first. In triangle ADC, here S is the midpoint of AD and R is the midpoint of CD. S is the midpoint of AD and R is the midpoint of CD. So what to write here? In the previous term, you have to prove that in a triangle, this is a triangle and this is the midpoint, that is ABC. This is a triangle and D and E. This is the midpoint of side AB and AC. Then you have to prove here that is DE equal to half of BC and DE parallel to BC, means this line DE just half of this BC and this DE is also parallel to BC. This is already proved in the midpoint theorem. So we will apply this same application in this question. You can see here, this is a triangle ACD and this is SR and this is the second baseline. So it means the baseline just a half of SR and SR is also parallel to AC. So you can write here by midpoint theorem that is AC parallel to, otherwise you can write it as, that is SR parallel to AC and SR equal to half of AC. SR just equal to half of AC and SR equal to parallel to AC. So this is the first part. You have to prove without any calculation used by midpoint theorem. So this is necessary to show that S and R is the midpoint of the side, and then you will write here by midpoint theorem. This is also the important step to write the midpoint theorem. You can say that SR just a half of AC and SR just parallel to AC. Now this is the first part. So you will write here part number first. Now for part number second, you will see that in the second triangle, that is triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, you will write once again in triangle ABC, P and Q is the midpoint of AB and BC. P is the midpoint of AB, and after that Q is the midpoint of BC. Q is the midpoint of BC. So you can say that by midpoint theorem, then by midpoint theorem, what you say? That is PQ just half of AC and PQ parallel to AC. Again you can see that this is a triangle, and in this triangle this side is half of AC and PQ, that is this is the midpoint of side AB and BC. So once again you can say that by midpoint theorem, PQ parallel to AC and PQ just a half of AC. So you will write here PQ just half of AC and PQ just parallel to AC. Okay, so let us, this is the equation number 1 which we proved in the first part, and this is the equation number 2. So what you observe from equation first and second? In the equation number first is SR equal to half of AC, and in the second equation PQ equal to half of AC. Means right hand side is half of AC in the both equation. So you compare these equation 1 and 2, you will get the result PQ equal to SR. So you will write the statement here from equation number first and second. From equation first and second you will get that is PQ equal to SR, and this is the result number second. Okay, PQ equal to SR, this is the requirement of the second result. Now moving for third, again you will observe the equation number first and equation number second, that is you have to prove here PQ equal to SR, and similarly you see here SR parallel to AC and PQ parallel to AC. It means you can say that in the diagram also PQ parallel to AC and SR parallel to AC. It means you can say that PQ parallel to directly SR. Okay. So you will write once again for the part number third. We will for the part number third, only 2 steps is remaining for this question. So you will write from part number third, from equation first and second we get that is PQ equal to SR and PQ just parallel to SR. You can see in the diagram also, and you have to prove here. Since the opposite side, that is PQ equal to SR and PQ parallel to SR, if opposite sides in a quadrilateral are equal and parallel, then you can say that parallelogram, that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So you will write here the statement for writing the result. Since opposite sides are equal and parallel in a quadrilateral, which one? PQRS. PQRS. Therefore, you will get the result that PQRS is a parallelogram. So you will get this result. This implies that PQRS is a parallelogram. So I think that is all the steps are clear for this. That is, if the opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal and parallel, then you can say that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So this is so easy application of midpoint theorem. I want to once again tell you that about this question. So first of all, you will take this triangle ACD. In this triangle, you can say that this is a side and this one is a third side of a triangle, and S R, there are two midpoints of these two other sides. Then you can say by the midpoint theorem, that is SR parallel to AC and SR equal to half of AC. Similarly, you move for the second triangle just below of AC, that is in triangle ABC. You can say that P and Q, these are once again midpoint of AB and BC. Then you see here this line, that is third side, and this is another midpoint which you join. Then you can say by the midpoint theorem, PQ just equal to just parallel to AC and PQ just half of AC. So by the midpoint theorem. Now if you use these two result, then you will get PQ equal to SR and PQ just parallel to SR. So if any quadrilateral, if opposite sides are equal and parallel, then you can say that given quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So this is the result of question number first, and this we have the all result. Three parts are given. So now moving for next question, again for using the application of midpoint theorem. So now take the question number third. Question number second and third have the same proof. So I want to tell you that the question number third. So what is the question number third? You can see in your book. I want to tell you also that what is the statement of the question number third. So dear, here question number third is given that ABCD is a rectangle, okay, and PQ, R and S are the midpoints of side AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Show that quadrilateral PQRS is a rhombus. In the first question, you have to prove that PQRS is a parallelogram. In this question, we will prove here PQRS is a rhombus, and in the second question, you have to prove that PQRS is a rectangle. So all these type of question have the same proof and the application of midpoint theorem. So how can you prove this question number third? So according to the information, we will first of all write here given things. So here given that question number 3, D and DA respectively show that quadrilateral PQRS is a rhombus. In the first question you have to prove that PQRS is a parallelogram. In this question, we will prove here PQRS is a rhombus, and in the second question, you have to prove that PQRS is a rectangle. So all these type of question have the same proof and the application of midpoint theorem. So how can you prove this question number third? So according to the information, we will first of all write here given things. So here given that question number 3, that is ABCD is a rectangle. This is given. Okay. So we will write here ABCD is a rectangle. Okay. So this is the symbol of rectangle. We can write it. Also we can write in the word also. So that is rectangle. After that, most important things is also given here, that is PQR and S are midpoint, that is P comma Q R and S are midpoint of sides, that is ABBC, CD and AD. You can write as D also, respectively. The meaning of respectively means P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of BC, R is the midpoint of CD, and S is the midpoint of AD or DA. So this is the meaning of respectively. Now according to the information, first of all we will draw a diagram, that is ABCD is a rectangle. So we will construct a diagram. This is a rectangle, and here we'll start from here, that is A, B, C and D. Okay. Now question says that what things, that is PQRS. P is the midpoint of AB, so this is the midpoint, and Q is the midpoint of BC, and R is the midpoint of CD, and S is the midpoint of D. Okay. Now you will join these points. What you get? You will get this thing same to same. That is, this is the point you join. Okay. So you will get a PQRS is a quadrilateral. Now we will prove here that PQRS is a rhombus. So for proving this, we will construct something, means we will draw a parallel line, that is AC. We will join A and C. So you will get this is a construction. Okay. Now start the proof. You will same proof you will write here as in the question number 1. You have to write already. So given after that to prove. To prove here, PQRS is a rhombus. That is PQRS is a rhombus. Only these things is required. You can write the construction, join A to C. Construction, join A to C. Okay. Now, what is the requirement? Requirement is to prove that. So you will start the solution, that is proof. In triangle ABC, otherwise you can see, you can take triangle ADC, anyone. So we will start from serially. ABC. In triangle ABC, what, that is P and Q are the midpoints of AB and BC. So this is the important point. You will write, this is the necessary point to write these things, that is P and Q are the midpoint of side AB and BC. Okay. Then by midpoint theorem. Then by midpoint theorem. ये दोनों जो पॉइंट मैंने लिखे हैं, ये दोनों पॉइंट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. अगर आप ये पॉइंट नहीं लिखते हो तो मिड पॉइंट थ्योरम आपका फेल हो जाएगा, क्योंकि मिड पॉइंट का नेसेसरी कंडीशन है कि अगर आपको किसी ट्राइंगल में मिड पॉइंट्स दिए हुए हैं तो अभी वो मिड पॉइंट ज्वाइन करने वाली लाइन पैरेलल होगी और उसकी हाफ भी होगी. ठीक है, तो ये कंडीशन लिखना कंपलसरी है. So you will write here that this is the line PQ and AC. So you will write that PQ equal to half of AC and PQ parallel to AC. So this is the equation number 1. So again you take the above triangle, that is ADC. In triangle ADC, once again you will write that S and R, that is R and S are the midpoints of CD and AD. CD and AD. Okay, so by midpoint theorem, then by midpoint theorem, what to say here, that is SR is the line joining the midpoint. So you will write SR just half of AC, SR just half of AC and SR parallel to AC. So this is the equation number 2. Now you will use these two equations for the result. You will write here from equation 1st and 2nd. From equation 1st and 2nd, we get what you get, that is you find the conclusion PQ equal to half of AC and SR equal to half of AC. So right hand side is same, so you can say that PQ equal to SR, PQ equal to SR, and now for parallelity, PQ parallel to AC and SR parallel to AC means PQ parallel to SR. So once again you will find the conclusion here, what, in quadrilateral PQRS, that is PQ parallel to SR and PQ equal to SR. Okay, since opposite sides are equal and parallel, so you can say that PQRS, once again it is a parallelogram. So you will write here the conclusion, since opposite sides of a quadrilateral are equal and parallel, okay, equal and parallels, then what you write? Then you can write it as PQRS is a parallelogram. This implies that PQRS is a parallelogram. But this is not our requirement. Our requirement is to prove that PQRS is a rhombus. So how can you say that PQRS is a rhombus? Okay. So for this we will show here. Now I want to remove this. How can you say that this PQRS, that is parallelogram PQRS, is a rhombus? So dear, for proving this result, you can say that in triangle APS, okay, PAS you can also say PAS, and triangle PBQ, PBQ, okay. So what to say in these two triangle? In these two triangle you can say that AP equal to BP, AP equal to BP. Why? Because P is the midpoint. P is midpoint. Okay. And next, AS equal to BQ. AS equal to BQ. Why? Because again these two are midpoint. Half, you can write half of given sides. Because this is the midpoint, so you can say that this is half of AD and this is half of this, okay. Now for next, you can say this is angle A equal to angle B. Angle A equal to angle B, each 90 degree. Why? Because this is a rectangle already is given in the question, because ABCD is a rectangle. If ABCD is a rectangle, then all angles are 90 degree of that angle, that rectangle, okay. Now what you find the result after that? That is here you can see that two sides and one angle, that is this side and this side, the angle is the included angle, and this is this side and this side, and this one is the included angle. So you can say that by SAS criterion, otherwise you can write here congruency also, criterion triangle PAS just congruent to triangle PBQ, okay. So if these two triangles are congruent, then you can say that PQ equal to PS, okay. Means you will write here PS equal to PQ by CPCT. Because if these two triangles are congruent, it means all corresponding parts will be equal. So if these two triangles are congruent, then you can say by the CPCT PS equal to PQ. But dear, PQ equal to SR and PS equal to PQ. This is proved above. अभी अभी आपने प्रूव किया. See here, PQ equal to SR. So PQ equal to SR and PS equal to PQ. This is just proved above. So you see in this diagram, if PQ equal to PS and PQ equal to SR, similarly you can say that PQ equal to RQ, means all sides are equal. Then you can say that all sides are equal, therefore you will get the result. That is, this implies that PQ equal to SR equal to PS and equal to RS. Okay, because this RS you also proved in the equation number 1. So all sides are equal in a quadrilateral. This implies that PQRS is a rhombus. Okay, parallelogram PQRS is a rhombus. Why? Since all sides are equal. All sides are equal. Yes. Yes. Say something. हाँ हाँ. PQ SR RS नहीं लिखना है. हाँ, RQ you will write here RQ. Okay, RQ. This is the next side. So PQ equal to SR equal to PS equal to RQ. All sides are equal in a parallelogram. Then you can say that parallelogram PQRS is a rhombus. So this is the result and you can write here, hence proved. Finally you can say that therefore rectangle rectangle, this is parallelogram PQRS is a rhombus, hence proved. So this is the another question in which you apply the midpoint theorem. Similarly, if you move for question number 4, then this is also once again so easy question, means that this question have only 2 and 3 steps to prove this. So very easy. And also in the question number 5, so question 5 is once again very easy question and you will apply here midpoint theorem one by one, then you will get the final result. And also question number 6 and 7 are easy, in which you will apply the midpoint theorem. So dear, we will read the next question number 7, because question number 7 is the most important question of this exercise. So you will try to understand first of all, because I have to assign homework that is in the Google Classroom, so you can check the solution. But if you have any doubt in that question, so thank you dear watching my video up to last, but not forget to like, share and comment it and subscribe my channel so that you get my video first of all.